So basically, that is how you truly find yourself. You have to spend time by yourself. And I mean truly by yourself. Hey sweethearts, it's Nick Venus. Once again, happy and welcome to my channel. If you're new to my channel, please make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on all post notifications so you can be notified every time I upload. So, in this video, I'm going to talk about how to find yourself. And this is going to be more so an updated version of one of my older videos. And I'm going to try to be more specific, right? So, okay, this is how I learned. In order to truly find your authentic self, you have to spend time by yourself because you are only a reflection of those around you. Now, you don't even know this, but most people are not their authentic self. They're literally a copy of those around you. And on top of that, they're not using their whole creative energy. They're not using their whole mind. They're not expanding their whole mind. And what I mean by that is, for example, you grew up in the hood, right? And you're like, I'm not listening to that rock or whatever, right? I'm not listening to that rock music because people are gonna make fun of me, right? Black folks don't listen to that. We listen to rap and hip hop. Am I right? So you have this limited perception. You're like in this box and you don't even know you're in there. So you were conditioned to have this limited perception. Different people, like different parts of life. You know, some people grew up right here. Some people grew up in the hood. Some people grew up in the suburbs. You're conditioned to be in this limited box and you don't even know you're in there, right? Because I used to be like that. And when I started spending time by myself, truly by myself, that is when I started finding myself, because I started incorporating things that I like. Not because a stereotype told me to, not because I was conditioned, you know, to be this way. I started incorporating things that I like, and that is how you truly find your authentic self. So it started a long time ago, right? I worked a graveyard shift. I worked a graveyard shift at a truck site. So I think it was like midnight to 8 a.m. in the morning, right? So basically during the day, I would literally just sleep. And all I did was basically make sure nobody broke into the trucks. But the crazy thing is, there was nobody out there. I never seen any people out there, right? So it was in the middle of nowhere. And all I ever seen out there was animals. I never seen people, right? So I would just stay up all night and I would, you know, write music. I would sing, I would train my voice. I would, you know, look up certain things or whatever, read different books. That was when I started getting deep into spirituality, right? So basically during the day I would just sleep, but at night I would be by myself. So basically I was forced into being by myself. And this is when I started learning this stuff. I got off of social media too. So I deleted, at the time I had a Facebook, I deleted my Facebook, I deleted my YouTube. I had a different YouTube at the time. I deleted everything. So I wasn't even on social media, right? So I had no damn friends at the time because I couldn't hang out with anybody. So literally all my friends would be out partying and stuff. I couldn't party, I couldn't do anything, right? So I was forced to be by myself. So I wasn't on social media, I had no friends, and I was always by myself. So this is how I learned this, right? So basically it's almost like you have all these downloads of stuff inside of your mind, inside of your subconscious that you did not put in there. And it's almost like a cleansing. It's almost like deleting all of those downloads and all that stuff, right? And then adding what you want, the things that you really like. So then I started getting deep into spirituality. So I started reading spiritual books. I started meditating and stuff. And girl, like, I know I was supposed to be working like a graveyard shift or whatever, but girl, I'd be meditating and stuff when I'm at work and stuff like that, right? So I was deep into spirituality. And this is how I learned all of this stuff, right? I started just looking into different things, right? Like I was looking at different parts of the world, different cultures, different type of music. Girl, I was listening to all different music. I was listening to K-pop. I started listening to Hindi music. I started listening to like all types of different music. I started looking into different cultures. I started reading different spiritual books, and it opened my mind. All of a sudden, It's like you start using more of your mind, you start using more of your creativity. Instead of seeing a little speck on that little canvas, you start seeing much more. You start expanding your mind. So basically that's what happened. And then I slowly started incorporating things that I like, right? I'm like, they told me I shouldn't listen to this type of music. I'm gonna listen to it. And I listened to it and I'm like, ooh, I like this. Oh, black folks are not supposed to dress like this. Ooh, I like this. You know, that's how it started. I started incorporating things that I like, and I started finding myself, right? And I was on a spiritual path, so I was meditating and reading spiritual books and all types of stuff, girl. And this is how I learned that we all have a higher self, because during a meditation, right, I'm meditating and I see my higher self looking back at me. This is why in my intro I go like this. You know, that's why I do that at the intro, because that's how I see my higher self looking at me like a reflection. They looked up, so I know exactly what my higher self looks like. My higher self is beautiful as fuck, like for real. So I know what my higher self looks like. And a lot of people don't even know this. We have a higher self, and your higher self doesn't necessarily look exactly how you look on this physical plane, so to speak. And another thing that I learned, right, is people can look, right, the physical, they can look a certain way, but their spirit can be very ugly. And this is what I learned, girl. They can look, it could be like the finest damn guy you've ever seen in your life, and you see his spirit, what his spirit looks like, and it's hideous, right? So there's a lot of people like that on this planet Earth, and you don't even know it. They can look like they're beautiful, but they have the most hideous spirit ever. And all you need to do, really, look in the eyes and you can tell everything, because eyes is the window to the soul. So yeah, so basically that is how you truly find yourself. You have to spend time by yourself, and I mean truly by yourself. Like I said, the only type of living beings I seen out there were animals. I would see bunnies, I would see deer, I would see raccoons, I would see all types of animals, right? So I was in the boondocks in the middle of nowhere. That's all I seen. I never seen no human beings out there. So it was just me, myself, and I. I would basically take in everything completely new and adapt the things that I truly liked. And the best way to explain it is like your mind expands. So imagine you have like this limited, you're limited. So you're like, from here, there's this big planet, planet Earth, but you're only thinking from here to the next city, right? I'm thinking from here all the way to China or something. I'm thinking like the whole damn planet, right? I'm trying to explain it the best that I can, but it's like your mind expands, your perception expands. You're no longer limited. A lot of people are limited, and this is why there's also discrimination and hatred, because they're unable to comprehend. They're unable to see from different perceptions because they are very limited. What's the saying? They're narrow-minded, they're small-minded, they're weak-minded, they're little. You can tell when a person's like that if they can't see from a different perception. I can see from any perception, girl. I can see from every and any perception, right? This is why I don't have any prejudices towards anyone. And usually people do. They're set in their ways. They're set in that little box. They're set in that limited perception that was placed into their subconscious that they don't even know. They think that is something that is part of them, but it's not part of them. It was placed into their subconscious at one point in their life, whether they was a little kid.
Find yourself a classic beauty with a perfect can and great toddies. That will put you in good stead with the Lord. It's all in here. Yes, sir.
You know, someone racist, they could have had a racist father or something, taught the little kid, you know, they could have had a prejudiced auntie or something. I don't know, but that's what it is. It was placed into your subconscious. You're not coming out the womb with prejudices. Something put that in your mind, whether you watched a video, whether it was a friend, it was somebody you were in a relationship with, or it could have been a book you read. Somebody put those prejudices inside of your subconscious. So it's not even you. Even your beliefs is not even your beliefs. That's how deep it goes. Now, when you erase all the programming, right? You delete the programming, right? Have a clean slate, and then you incorporate what you truly like into your subconscious, into your beliefs, into everything. You become your true, individual, authentic self. Even to the point where you no longer fit in. Like, I know I'm trans, people, could put me underneath the transgender umbrella. I know I'm trans, but I know I'm different. So even to other trans girls, I'm even different than them, right? So that is the best way that I can explain it. It's like a journey. It's like a spiritual journey. And the funny thing is, people like to say, oh, I know you better than you know yourself. That is the most craziest shit in the world. If anyone ever says they know you better than you know yourself, they are batshit crazy. Because they're basically saying, you know somebody outside of yourself better than that person knows themselves. That's what they're saying. That's like me saying, oh, this person outside of me, I know that person better than they know themselves, but I'm not that person. That's the most insane shit ever, right? So people like that are crazy, and they just don't realize everybody has two sides. There's always two sides to every single being, every single deity, every single celestial, every single human, right? It's always two sides. So there's a yin, there's a yang, there's a masculine, there's a feminine, there's a white, there's a black, there's a positive, there's a negative, right? There's always two sides. So just because somebody sees one side of you, like for example, you may not be comfortable with some people, so you don't show your other side, and all they see is your one side, and they automatically think, oh, I know you. Oh, I know you. Like, you don't even know me from a can of paint, sweetie, right? Because the people that truly know me, I'm showing my full authentic self. That's just how it is. People don't fully show their true self unless they're around people that they feel comfortable, people they trust. Then they let that wall down, and you will see, their whole true aspect. But everybody has two sides. That's how it is. That's how it is. Even God has that. Even God has a light and a dark side. He has a light, loving, caring side, but then he also has a dark side where he'll jack you up if you play with him. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please remember to like, comment, subscribe, feature content, and until next time, guys.